Hey there, car enthusiasts! In today's video, we'll be discussing the symptoms of a bad ignition coil. The ignition coil is a critical part of your vehicle's ignition system, and when it starts to fail, it can lead to a whole host of problems. But don't worry, we've got you covered with all the signs to watch out for, so let's get right into it. Engine misfires. One of the most common signs of a failing ignition coil is engine misfires. When the coil is unable to provide enough voltage to the spark plugs, the combustion process in one or more cylinders is incomplete. This can cause your engine to stutter, stumble, or jerk, especially when accelerating. You'll often feel the car misfiring when you try to speed up. It's like the car hesitates and can even cause shaking. This can lead to bigger problems if left unchecked, so be sure to address it promptly. Check engine light. Next up, the check engine light. It's easy to ignore, but if your ignition coil is bad, the light will likely pop up on your dashboard. When the coil fails, the engine's computer picks up on the misfires and other issues, triggering the check engine light. The problem is, the check engine light could mean a bunch of different things, so you'll need to get your car scanned to determine if the ignition coil is indeed the culprit. Decreased fuel efficiency. Another symptom to look out for is decreased fuel efficiency. If the ignition coil isn't supplying enough voltage, the combustion process in the engine becomes less efficient. This means your car is burning more fuel than it should to generate power. If you notice that you're making more frequent trips to the gas station, and nothing else seems out of place, it could be a sign that your ignition coil needs to be checked out. Backfiring or exhaust smoke. Backfiring and black smoke coming from your exhaust can also indicate a bad ignition coil. This happens when unburned fuel exits the engine and ignites in the exhaust system. It creates a popping or backfiring noise, and you may see thick black smoke. This is not only harmful to the environment but can also lead to more serious damage to your car's exhaust system, so you don't want to ignore this symptom. What should you do? So, if you're experiencing any of these symptoms, what should you do? First off, don't ignore the issue. Continuing to drive with a bad ignition coil can lead to further damage, including catalytic converter failure, which can be an expensive fix. The best course of action is to take your car to a trusted mechanic or use a diagnostic tool to check if the ignition coil is the issue. In most cases, replacing a faulty ignition coil is a relatively simple fix, and it's much cheaper than dealing with the long-term damage it can cause.